Yep.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, this is that.
Is it better? Yay.
Okay, so should I start?
Sure. Yeah. I'm interested in hearing how youth ministry is done in India because, in the United States, we have youth ministry in parishes and dioceses where they're
Mhm.
like paid positions and they're like people work in them full time.
Mhm.
And so I'm just interested. It sounded like, and from your pictures and what you had talked about, that there's quite a structure and a good group at a parish and bigger. And so I'm just interested in how you guys do it to see if I can learn anything and apply it to the US. And
Okay, I think it's pretty similar, but okay, I'll just tell you what I know. So I'll start from the very basic level. So politically speaking, the very small, the smallest unit of a country, I can say, is a locality, right? So, and these localities form a city or a town, which form a state, and these states form a country. So, religiously speaking, and this is only for Catholic, it's not true for other Christian denominations here. So, religiously speaking, like these localities, each locality is called a CMC or a Catholic Managing Committee. We don't call them localities. So, it's a CMC. And every CMC or every Catholic Managing Committee have these different organizations: the youth organization, the men's organization, and also the women's. So all these three organizations are under the purview of the head of the CMC, who is also the president of the CMC, and the members of the executive members of the CMC are the president and secretaries of these different groups, the men's, women's, and the youth organization. So they are by default the executive members of the localities or the CMCs. And there are other members as well, like those people who are regular in church, those who do volunteer work. They work closely with the church. So now what happens in the youth group is we have different designations or different posts. So that can again differ from locality to locality. But in my locality, like, we have the president and the secretary, and all these posts, they have their assistants as well. Like a president will also have a vice president. So the general secretary will have an assistant, GS or general secretary. And there are music secretaries, then we have sports, then we have publicity, we have a social secretary, then we have a volunteer secretary, all those, and they all have their own assistants.
okay.
Now, yeah, you were you asking something?
Are these all volunteer positions?
Yeah, they volunteer. So now, if I want to be the president, say, uh, I can. So it'll be announced by the existing body that, like, we are going to renew. Like, our term has ended, and the general election will be held on this day. So if there's anybody who's interested in contesting, you can submit your names by before this date. That is how it works, and we can go volunteer and contest in the election. And on the election date, it'll be a ballot system. So that is how people get elected.
Okay.
But that is at the CMC level. Now, all these CMCs, they form a parish. So in my parish, there are 16 CMCs. So at the parish level, it's a little stricter. So it's more stringent. So what happens is, now at the parish level, the same thing happens. There's the men's, women's, and the youth organization, but there's also something called the parish pastoral council, which is in charge of all the programs that are hosted or conducted by all the organizations in the parish. So now at the parish level, the same thing happened. The existing body will announce that, a new um, uh, body will have to come because our tenure has ended, our term has ended, and the general election will be on this date. Like, letters will be distributed to all CMCs, and they'll announce the name of the posts that are available. And anybody who's interested from different CMCs, like last time what happened, so they sent us the letters, and I opted for the post of the education secretary. So there would be many people contesting for one post because it's a little bigger now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they would ask for 5 voters, 5 or 6 minimum, a minimum of 5 or 6 voters from each look at no, not minimum, sorry, exactly five voters from each locality or CMC to do the voting. And so by the end of a certain date, before a certain date, we people who are interested in contesting would have to go and file their nomination papers. It's like very political. So we have to go and file in our nomination papers, and anybody who submits their papers after the set date or the mentioned date, they would be deemed invalid. And even the name of the voters would have to be given beforehand. So now what happens for the election? There would be a process called as scrutiny or scrutinization, in which all the contestants are called and they get interviewed one by one by a group of members. And these people are they're not young people, they're not from the youth groups, but they are people who've worked very closely with young people. Like like last time we had a person who was recently married but was also ex-president of a certain locality youth group, and he worked very closely at the parish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there were no priests, and there was a catechist, and there was, yeah, so there were around 5 or 6 people. They're very close to the church, and they asked us around 30 questions, and one of those questions was related to punctuality, and then to our goals, like why do we want to contest, and what would we do if, for example, me, if I become the education secretary, and why would I want to do it, and by the end of 2 years, what would you like to achieve? So all that. And do you read the Bible, or do would you, yeah, be would you live by the word of God? All those questions. And they would declare if I am fit to contest in the election or not. Otherwise I would again be they would not let me contest.
Oh.
So yeah, so it's based on on how I answer, based on my answers. And on the day of the election, so all those who could contest, all those who passed the scrutiny, they can come and contest. And so all the voters from all the CMCs are seated together, and they are given papers in which the name of the post and the name of the contestants of that particular post is written. And based on that, like they choose, like they would ask us to introduce ourselves, and they we would have to tell for which post are we contesting. So, and then based on that, people post, I mean, they make a tick mark against our names if they like us. And at the end of all that, there's a counting, and then the winners will be announced. It's actually really fun. And the president, yeah, it's like, uh, so this is how it goes. They'd be like, okay, number one, so the president. So for the post of the president, we have this guy and this guy. So those 2 guys will stand up and speak of their goals or whatever, and then they would select, and then okay, next, vice president. So that's how it happens. And then at the end, the president and the secretary would have to give a speech. So that's at the parish level. Then okay, and yeah, so now these different parishes, they form a zone. Yeah, so they form a zone, and in my state there are 7 zones.
Okay.
And this zone, in my zone, there are 5 parishes. Yeah. So
Okay.
the same thing happens at the zonal level as well. So
Oh wow.
are you?
So let's see. So like what is the highest level?
Yeah, I am coming to that.
Oh, okay.
I am going stepwise. Okay, so I'll draw it for you. Wait. So there's
Okay.
this parish, now zone. Okay. So at the zonal level, so it's the same thing. People will have to contest, but who can contest at the zonal level? So at the parish level, people from different CMCs can come and contest. Not anybody from outside of the parish, obviously. So at the zonal level, anybody who is approved by the parish. For example, suppose I am not a member of the parish youth group or even my locality youth group, but I am just somebody who's close to the church. I do volunteer work, and a lot of people know me, and I help out. Then I can go contest. Like, they would approve. Like, I have to get the approval of my parish priest to go and contest at the zonal level elections. So I can do that. And also, the voters would have to be members of the parish youth group, not just any parishioner, but you should be a member of the youth group to be able to go vote. Now, these different zones, like we have 7 zones in my state. Yeah, no, more than 7, but these zones, they belong to the diocese level. So CMC, parish, then zones, then all the zones are in the diocese. So in my state, there are 4 dioceses, and I belong to the Shillong diocese. And in this diocese, there are 36 parishes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now diocese level is the same thing, elections and all that. And all these people from the diocese level and below, they do not get paid.
Wow. Okay.
Nobody gets paid. Yeah. So there is no payment for them, and they have jobs, or they study, or they do whatever they do, but they do this as volunteer work.
Volunteer.
Then, yeah, as after the diocese level, you have the regional level, which is a little higher, and people who work at the regional level, they have the same post, president, secretary, music, and all that. And people who are at the regional level do get paid because they don't do anything else. This is what they do, because now they have more responsibilities. So if they work, it'll be really hard for them to manage both. And because so for example, in my region, there are 7 states, and they have to keep traveling from one state to another. And yeah, the center is in a different state. It's not here in Meghalaya, but there's a different state called Assam, which is next to my state. So that's where the center is. It's called NERIC. The committee is called NERIC, which is Northeast Regional Youth Committee. So now they have to live there, and they keep traveling from one state to another. So they do get paid. Like, they don't get paid much. They get paid around 7,000 rupees, which is about $700.
Is it enough to live? Like enough to have an apartment and have food?
No, because all their accommodation is provided by the church.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's just pocket money for them.
Oh, okay. But they have their housing provided.
Yeah. They lived, I don't know where do they live, but yeah, it's all given to them.
Wow. Okay. So that's the only thing they do.
Wait, it's only $100 because it's 700. Yeah, around 7,000 rupees. It's not that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, but the money that they get paid is just their pocket money, because they don't really have to spend on food. And even their travel allowances, they even have travel allowances and all that, so they can travel. And sometimes they get to attend national conferences and all that. They get paid for those as well.
Wow.
Yeah, all those paid for them. Yeah, so they don't have to spend. They don't have any to spend on traveling, in fooding, lodging, and all that. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's at the region. Yeah. So now these different regions form the whole country. So at the national level, we have something which is called the Indian Catholic Youth Movement, or the ICYM.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is, it comes under the there are 2, CCBI. So in India, there are 2 bishops organizations.
Oh.
I don't know about the country. Yeah. So one is called
one big one.
You have one? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Council of Catholic Bishops. Yeah. They meet in our capital. Yeah. In Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here it's a little more complicated, I think, because we have the CCBI, which is the Conference of Catholic Bishops of India, and the second one is the CBCI, which is Catholic Bishops Conference of India. So the CCBI, it only takes care of the Latin rites. So all this that I've been talking about, all these parishes and all these levels are all of the Latin rites. I don't know about the other rites, because they We have another one, which is the CBCI. This is the Catholic Bishops Conference of India. They control, I mean, not, I should not say control, but everything falls under them. Like they, I don't know what to say. Like everything is affiliated to them. I mean, the Latin rites, Syro-Malabar rites, and also the Malacca rites. So they fall under them. But CCBI focuses only on the Latin rites. Yeah, only members of the Latin rites. And ICYM falls under CCBI because it's a Latin rite. So,
as
huh?
as I'm talking to you, I realize I should be like recording this for the public. for youth ministry education or cultural education, you know, like dialogue. I want to make a YouTube channel where I'm like interviewing different people and asking.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be great. I wouldn't mind. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the CCBI, yeah, the CCBI, they only are responsible for members of the Latin rites, and ICYM falls under it. We all fall under the CCBI. And this happened since 2017. Like before 2017, ICYM was with the CBCI, but you know they wanted to be separated because we also have CCBI, which focuses only on Latin rites. So they were like, okay, this is what we should be under them. And what else can I tell you? So, and yeah, under the CCBI, we have different commissions. Like we have the Women's Commission, then the Liturgy Commission, and the Youth Commission. So that's where ICYM, or the Indian Catholic Youth Movement. And in the Indian Catholic Youth Movement, there's not a lot of posts. There's just 5 of them, I think. There's the president, vice president, the general secretary, then there's the treasurer and financial, I think. Yeah, they don't have a lot of posts. And they keep traveling, even they are paid. And they keep traveling from one place to another. Like we had we had the president, I think she was the president of ICYM. Yeah, because wait, I'll tell you something. So ICYM is divided into 2 groups, into 2 organizations. Again, one is called the YCS. I mean, this youth commission has ICYM, which focuses only on Catholic young people, okay? So, and only parishes. But there's another organization which falls under the youth commission of the CCBI, or the Conference of Catholic Bishops of India. That is called the YCS, or Young Catholic Students, which focuses only on students, but both Catholics and non-Catholics. And these YCS students, they have to register themselves with the YCS movement, with CCBI. So yeah, and that is done through the diocese director. Yeah, and this is both Catholic and non-Catholic people can become a part of YCS. And there's an age limit because it's only for those who are in schools.
Oh.
Yeah. So we are all a part of ICYM, or Indian Catholic Youth Movement.
Okay.
So yeah, and those. Yeah, what were you saying?
What is your role? Are you in a parish level or the locality?
Okay, I'll show you my ID. So I am okay. So in my locality, I am the general secretary, but at the parish level, I am the. Can you see this?
Yeah, education secretary. Oh wait, stay there.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I'll do this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, education secretary, Sang Samia Catholic Mawali Parish.
Parish, yeah. Oh. And it is signed by the parish priest.
Oh, wow.
So that.
Okay.
Yeah. So this ID is given to us on the day that we do the oath taking ceremony. So 1 week after we get elected, we do the oath taking ceremony, and this is done at the parish level, zonal level, diocese level, regional level, and national level as well.
Wow, there's so many levels.
Yeah, because there are so many people, so it'll be hard, for one group to take care of everybody, to be in charge of everybody.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, that is
okay.
why. Yeah. Mm.
For us, we have every parish has
Mm-hmm.
like well, not every parish. Some are getting a youth minister, it's called, like one person that,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes parishes have two people that they hire to
Okay.
work in the youth ministry program.
Mm-hmm.
So like most parishes will have one youth minister for high school age,
Okay.
like that'll try to do programs for those students in high school. And then
Mm-hmm.
some parishes even have a separate person for middle school, like sixth through eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to do activities for them, like on a weekly basis. Like they'll have a prayer night or an education or food and fun, like a group that meets weekly or sometimes like monthly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and doing other activities. Like there's always big conferences in the summertime and that kind of thing. But then
Mm-hmm.
every diocese, at the diocese level, um,
Mm-hmm.
there's usually an office of youth ministry that
Mm-hmm.
has several staff um, who sort of reach out to their diocese, all the parish youth ministers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
some parishes have hired people, and some have just volunteers, and some don't have anything. Um,
Okay.
so it really depends on the parish and the diocese. Some dioceses probably have more youth workers than others, um,
Mm-hmm.
and every youth
Okay.
group can look different as far as what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever
Uh,
try for a higher position?
no, no, I've never. I don't think I should, because I don't think I'll be able to do it well.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I work here, so
Yeah.
it'll be really hard. Even going to the zonal level is hard because they keep meeting and they keep organizing programs. It'll
Hmm.
be hard to manage time. Yeah. So, and for us here, I think it's a little more uniform because we have a constitution which is laid down by the Indian Catholic Youth Movement, and that is passed on to all levels. And everybody has to follow it. I mean, we can make amends. Yeah. So even at the locality level, we follow the same constitution. So, for example, this constitution would lay down the different aspects of the meetings and what does an executive committee entail, and who can sit in our meetings, in our executive meetings, and there are so many different things that are laid down. I haven't read all of it, so
Okay.
we have a
What
constitution.
What would you say? Why are people, since it's just a volunteer, like what motivates people? What motivated you to get involved, and like why do
Mm-hmm.
people want to offer this volunteer service?
Okay. So, yeah, everybody has their own goals and their own motives. For me personally, I wanted to do this in this particular post, education secretary, because people are not well informed. I mean, when you say education, everybody thinks academic, which is wrong. I think that's a very narrow way of thinking. But you have to educate people about everything, about the church, agriculture, academics. You can educate on a lot of things. And so I have been working with a lot of people who are who have really big visions, and I would love for young people of our church to get to know more as well, to learn more. So in my parish there are a lot of people who are downtrodden, people who work on very minimum wage, in people who, are really left out by the society, and they don't have a proper education, and they think that this is it, this is my life. But that's not true. I mean, there is still so much that they can do. So there are many organizations in Shillong, in my state, that give different training programs for such people. But the thing is, these people do not know, are not aware. Like, they give them entrepreneurship programs or trainings, and they give them programs on organic farming. So there are a lot of people who own plots of land but don't know what to do because they don't have proper education. So, and the Catholic youth here, they are very lazy. I can say they're very complacent. They get satisfied with whatever they get. They don't really know how to aim big. And, they always think, this is how I am. This is my life. I was born this way. So, and, they get away with it. But then I think some of them are lazy, but some of them do not have the proper information, and they don't have people who really listen and talk to them. So I've seen, I mean, I don't criticize anybody, but the previous body, I feel like they did not really work closely with young people, like going to their houses and sitting with them, listening to them. I am ready to do that, and a lot of people are ready to do that. So, which is why I wanted to do this, just to give people that information so that they can decide, to find out ways for them and go meet people for them. Yeah, finding opportunities for them. So just to, educate them so that they can decide.
I'm not sure how much time you have. I have another question. I don't want to take too much of your time, but
it's okay.
I know you guys just did a service project during the coronavirus where you went to a neighboring village.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what was that all about? Can you
Okay, so the thing is, that village also falls under our parish, and that is like a CMC. That's the basic level. And they have a president, and they have the same post, right? So the president, called our president, like the parish level, okay, like they look up to us as parents because we are at the parish level. Like, there are a lot of people in this area who cannot go to work, and they are running out on their savings, and they do farming, but they only farm ginger and all that. Like, they cannot really get food to eat. So he calls our president, and our president informed us in our WhatsApp group, and he's like, what do we do now? So everybody started volunteering. Okay, I am going to donate 10 bags of rice. And another person said, okay, I can do 5 bags. Then another person texted, I can do 6 bags. Then another, like, I can just do 1 kg. So everybody started donating. And then I started talking to more people, like big business people here in Meghalaya. And the president, everybody started talking to more people, like, look, there is this group of people in this village. They really need help. This is happening. And we are doing the best that we can, but we need more. So a lot of people came up. They're like, okay, fine. And by other people, I mean Hindus, people who are not even Catholics or Christians. So they're like, yeah, sure, I can do that. So a lot of people came up, and and the best part was, like, everybody was like, don't tell anybody, like, we don't want people to know that we did this, charity work and all that. So it was really nice. It was so nice. Yeah. So that was something. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yeah, I saw the pictures that you had. It looked really neat.
Yeah.
A good group
Yeah.
of people doing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And our president, his motive of why he wanted to do this was because he wants to connect with it's not possible, but he wants to connect with the young people of all the localities, because they are what form the parish. The parish would not be there without them. So he wants to work closely with these young people and connect with them through their leaders, through their president and their secretaries. So that is what he wants to do. And so it's nice. So before the coronavirus, what we've been doing, the first job that we did, our first work we did as new members of the parachute group was visiting all these different localities or CMCs, because we have 16 of them. We have just done 4, and we went and talked to these people, and we arranged a meeting with each and every locality, and their leaders came and the members came, and just young people who are not even members, all of them came, and we asked them, what do you want us to do for you, like because we can just sit in a meeting and decide that these are the programs that we're going to have, but we don't want to do that. We want them to tell us what programs would they like to have.
Yeah.
So those people, yeah,
Mhm.
who live a little far away from the parish, suggested that we have programs in their place, like we host or conduct because they say it's hard for us to travel there. It's not easy because
Yeah.
they cannot afford to keep traveling,
Right.
and they're not very well to do. So they said, like, for example, the village that we visited, they're like, if you can come and host programs, like you can have a retreat here as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like,
Right.
okay, yeah, we can do that.
Are there
So we got
sorry,
hmm.
are there enough people there? Like if you went to a place far from the parish, would there be enough people there,
Yeah,
to make it
yeah,
worth
yeah.
it? Like, yeah,
Oh
I mean,
yeah, yeah,
people, yeah, even one
yeah,
person is good. Yeah.
yeah. So because the first village that we went to, they have about 300 young people. So yeah, that is good enough for a retreat. That's just one village.
Mhm.
So nearby that village, there are other villages as well that we can club together. So there'll be around 1,000 of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And these retreats, like, we don't want to have them at the parish, because if we have retreats at the parish, because many people are going to come, and it'll not be solemn anymore. So we suggest different CMCs to host their own retreats for their own young people, for their own group, so that they can just go somewhere, go to a place, a quiet place, and they can conduct retreats there. So that's what we suggested them to do.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in December, we've planned to give free tuitions to, people who cannot afford to go to tuitions. They cannot afford to go to a private tutor or hire one. So we have a lot of people in our parish, who teach. We have professors and people who teach in college. So I talked to two of them today, and they have volunteered to come and teach. So one of them is a professor at college. Yeah, like he used to make all these YouTube videos, and he teaches algebra and physics and chemistry and all that. So I was like, oh yeah, I could talk to this guy. So I told him. He was like, yeah, I'm down to do that. So
Awesome.
it's really nice. Yeah, and people are really volunteering. And recently, like, we were gonna have this panel discussion on different career options. So because people usually just follow the crowd, especially in this place, like, just because everybody is studying a particular course, everybody would just do that. So without knowing the pros and cons and knowing if they would, understand it. So we have invited a lot of people from different career backgrounds, different walks of life, to come and talk. And I called one person who is a fashion designer and also identify as a homosexual or a gay person. Yeah. And I called him, and because these people usually think that we don't like them being, Christians. So I called him and I was like, would you like and come to, have a panel discussion? I would like you to represent the fashion industry field in a program that we're going to have. He's like, oh, where is it going to be? I said, at Maulai Parish. He's like, did you say parish? Do you mean Catholic? I said, yeah. And he was really surprised. And he was like, yeah, I'll let you know if I'll be free. But he is not free. He'll not be coming. But he was really surprised to get the call, and he was really happy about it. So yeah, it's nice. You get to connect with so many people. Yeah. And so we meet almost all the time. We prefer meeting on weekdays, because weekends there is always some program or the other, and there are always parish programs, and we don't want to our programs to coincide with them, because at the top level is the parish pastoral council. Like, after we've made a list of the programs that we want to conduct for the whole year, we have to submit it to the parish pastoral council, and they'll be the one who'll approve if we can have those programs on the set dates or not. So we try hosting programs on Saturdays, because on Sundays it might be a feast day or something, then we would have to cancel it. So we don't want to do that. So yeah, but then because of coronavirus, everything is postponed for this year. So let's see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
And the national level youth body, they meet whenever there's going to be a national program. Yeah, like okay,
Do
so
you
we have retreats. Huh?
do you participate in? Do you have big national programs for the entire India? Like what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow,
yeah, yeah.
you been to one?
For the whole of the country. Yeah,
Oh, cool. Okay, that's awesome.
yeah. So at the very basic level, we have retreats like the what CMCs or the localities, they have retreats, and at the parish level also we have retreats or conventions, youth convention, the zonal level youth convention, then there's the diocese level youth convention, then there's the regional youth convention, and there's the national youth convention, and every Indian Catholic youth participate in it. Yeah, so it's then we go to Asian Youth Day, then we go to World Youth Day.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really neat to hear like the youth programs in different countries, and
Hmm.
and then everybody comes together at World Youth Day, you know,
Yeah.
as, as
Mm-hmm.
in the world, like
Hmm.
all the different youth. So yeah, I might talk to Cesar from Mexico soon because
Yeah.
to ask him about what they do in Mexico because I know there's like very strong youth groups in Mexico is what I've heard.
Hmm.
So I might
Hmm.
try to talk to him. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, there were a lot of them at World Youth Day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there were a lot of Colombians.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just reading your questions.
Oh yeah.
Where is it? Okay, what types of activities? Okay, I think I've answered most of these.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Riti.